I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh and Angel Ortega. As always, welcome by the one and only hater of the hour. Always sour, never sweet. It is Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. UFC 317 went down. There were a bunch of other fights that happened over the weekend as well. Before we break into all of the action, as always, we're brought to you by a few sponsors of the show. Rogue Energy, ELYXR, and BetMGM. Rogue Energy, they keep me filled up whether I'm at home, whether I'm at the gym, whether I'm doing this show, I get to the finish line. They can help you get there as well. With code SOUNDOFF at checkout. Code SOUNDOFF, all caps when you spell the brand's name at checkout for 10% off all their amazing products. Same case. Our friends over at ELYXR, they can get you really high. You know, look, hey guys, July 4th coming up. Have some fun, get high, and enjoy some ELYXR, I guess. And go to use code SOUNDOFF at checkout for 10% off all their products at ELYXR.com. Lastly, BetMGM. Look, you know, we all have bad predictions sometimes, and if you would have followed a couple of my predictions last week, then
were you really that off on some of these?
I mean, I think I went 2 of 5. 2 of 5, I think. Because I know I picked Pantoja, I picked Talbot.
I think we were the same.
And I can't, yeah. I don't think I picked Dariush either. So, a little bit rough. But you know what? If you would have followed our advice and you used BetMGM for the first time, you would have actually gotten some money back because you would have followed the link down below. You get it to $1,500 in bonus bets paid back to you if you don't hit on your first entry. So that offer still stands. If you want to go follow that link down below, contact 1-800-GAMBLER if you're having any issues. But if not, you want to have some fun with us, go ahead and follow the link down below to BetMGM. They got, even if you're not using our offers, they have a lot of great offers to give out a lot of free bets. Just saying that personally. So very cool. Very cool. Nonetheless, man, let's just talk about it. UFC 317, International Fight Week, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. He's different. He's different. There's no other way to say it. El Matador. What was it? La Leyenda? Maybe he should go to La Leyenda at this point. 17-0. And now the UFC's lightweight champion. The run he's on is impeccable. It's impossible to slide it. And in my opinion, the greatest 3-fight run in UFC history. There's other contenders up there. But Alexander Volkanovski knockout in the second round. Max Holloway knockout in the third round last October in Abu Dhabi. And then 1 round, 2:27 of the first, knocks out Bronx Charles Oliveira. I don't know. Angel, I'm at a loss for words with how good Ilia Topuria is. Give me your thoughts on his performance on Saturday and just the evolution of not only his career, but just he's calling the shots. He's calling the shots, and he's still going out there and doing the damn thing.
I mean, it's not like I didn't know this could happen, but I was like, definitely, oh, fuck. Like, this was definitely one. I think I might have even said it, where I'm like, do you see him just fucking starching him or anything? I was like, I'm not sure. Maybe not. No. I don't think he should, right? There's a lot on the line here. But God fucking damn it, did he do it again? I mean, he is. I think I forgot exactly how I worded it, but before we started recording, I was telling Josh, I'm like, dude, we are witnessing history. And it's so weird because this is my first time experiencing this in the sport. Because when I came into the sport, it was at the peak of the Conor thing. I hadn't had the whole buildup. You know, I didn't get to experience the opponent change with Chad Mendes coming in last second. You know, I didn't get to experience even the Conor fight at its moment. Like I knew about it at the time, and I saw the result and all about it, but I know with all the context about it, the Jose Aldo run, the undefeated for X amount of years, you know, the dominance of him as a champ. That wasn't until much later. By the time I got into the sport, he had already had. I think he might have been going into the second Diaz fight, and then we were leading into and then obviously the saga that we talked last week about the Conor throwing the dolly, which then led to the promo against Habib, which inevitably led to the Habib fight. And then after that, the Mayweather fight, and then the return of Conor and so on, and kind of where we're at now. You know, beyond like that was my experience at seeing history. It was at its peak. I didn't get to see so much the lead up with Ilia, where this fucker's fighting on Fight Island against, here, let me double check, Damon Jackson. You know, I remember even like we were going into UFC 264 with Conor Poirier. He was fighting Ryan Hall in that fight, and I remember at the time I was like, "Oh shit, Ryan Hall's fighting," but I saw the opponent and I was like, it was literally that Incredibles meme, with the where it gets dark.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh yeah, Ryan Hall," and I was like, "He doesn't know yet." I granted, I didn't know how good Ilia was going to be. Let me clarify that. I'm not going to sit here and I'm like, I called that shit from then, but I was definitely like, I can't say that result necessarily surprises me.
Yeah.
And now we're here. Now two-weight champion, talking about 170, talking about defending his title at 155, calling his fucking shots, having some of the coldest fucking deliveries. I mean, and only 28 years old. This guy doesn't turn 29 till October, I think.
Yeah.
This is fucking terrifying. And I told Josh, I was like, and I think Ilia said this too. He plans on retiring early. Why? I'm not sure. I have my theories on it. I'll drop those later on once we get farther down his career. I don't want to drop him too early because I think it's way too early. Josh, what the fuck? Where do we go from here? And we'll get to Charles later. I think we got to talk about Ilia first, just because it's such a fucking big thing.
With Charles, the path was a lot different too. So let's just say this for Ilia. He is, and I'm happy you're comparing him to Conor, not because I think he's a Conor, star skill set. And I've seen a lot of people saying like he's our next Conor, and I'm seeing them kind of annoying him as that. It's like, well, I don't think you can. There's never going to be another Conor McGregor.
We haven't had anybody touch that yet.
But he is the first Ilia Topuria. And this guy has potential in different ways to expand the sport and have a different star profile because he's not nearly 1/10 the star Conor is in his prime. It's one of those things that's hard to convey for somebody who's getting into the sport. You've only gotten in the last few years. If you weren't around for prime Conor was like sitting down for interviews on Fox News. Like that's how Conor was like doing like media everywhere. He you could not escape the 24/7 news coverage that was Conor.
Not even just that, but like the regular person knew Conor.
Exactly.
You could go like the conversation about Conor McGregor would be anywhere at any time. The Ilia conversation isn't anywhere at any time. Like I will say, this fight did get some traction. It is still big.
Yeah, this helped them a lot.
This is one of the biggest fights they've had in recent time.
Yeah.
Relative to like Conor, obviously it's dwarfed by Conor, but I did see people who I never see post about him. Exactly. I did see people who.
So he's getting there.
He's getting the attention from the person who doesn't regularly follow the sport week to week like we do, which I think is important. And then the night of, I don't know if you saw. Did you see any of any of the scrum?
I saw a little bit. Yeah.
There was a media member from Spain. He said that he had the numbers that apparently Ilia drew numbers in Spain. Clarify.
Yes.
In Spain that were comparable of a F1 race, a Rafael Nadal tennis match, and this is the big one, a Real Madrid match,
which is
insane for Spain. That's insane. If that is true, and I mean, and apparently the report's like, Dana, I got the numbers right here. I'll hand them to you right now.
Yeah. And
Dana even seemed in shock a bit. Like, and granted, people made fun of Dana. They're like, this is clearly how out of the loophole Dana is, because I mean, you'd think he'd have this kind of information now. Because before Dana it'd be like, dude, we got these many viewers in China. Like that used to be a thing. He would come out and like there was big reports like that. He would mention them at the scrum. This time they came from the media too, Dana.
Yeah, well, and also this is not a wider thing. I don't want to break into shitting on Dana White. That's not my point about to say here. But the fact that they're not even considering taking him to Spain, because they were like, whenever he won the belt, like maybe we'll see if we can make it happen. And then they gave up pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Like they do this all the time. Like, oh, we're gonna go to UC Hawaii, UC Africa.
But they're never gonna go to UC Hawaii. They're never gonna do that because of the history there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, they've teased these things that like they say they're gonna happen. But dude, going to Spain is the easiest layup of all time. Like, I don't know why, dude. Take him and Justin Gaethje out there or something. Like, it'd be the easiest thing you could do. But the what I was bringing up Conor earlier to say was, while he's not the same star in that way, he's gonna expand the sport in different ways. But the thing he does have in common with Conor is that after the the Aldo fight, it's like, I'm gonna stop doubting this motherfucker. And after this fight, I'm never going to doubt Ilia Topuria again. You want to move to 170? I'm all in, brother.
I don't think I ever lied to myself. I mean, I don't think I ever doubted him. I think I just lied to myself more than anything.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things, right? Like, I was like, it was hard for me to see somebody going through Charles Oliveira in that way, because nobody's gone through Charles Oliveira that way.
In recent time.
Like even whenever Islam beat him, like he took him down, like he just dominated him on the mat.
He didn't even have to get him against the cage or behind the black line. He did this shit in the center of the ring, or the center of the octagon. Just a quick exchange. And some people, and I saw Patty Fimlett is one of those people, so they just say that too. It's not just me making this up, because there are a lot of people who are like, Ilia Topuria, people are shitting on him, and I haven't seen anybody shit on Ilia Topuria. Not to call out anybody, not anybody that we've referenced on the show. But I mean,
the Charles Oliveira, some people were shitting on him, being like, why was his strategy in there? Patty Pimble was like, he fought like a dumbass. And I'm like, not really, man. He went in there. He tried to get the takedowns. He couldn't get the takedowns. Maybe you could argue he exchanged in a little bit too close to them, and he got himself into that boxing pocket. But this is also a guy, Charles Oliveira, who's knocked out. I mean, granted, he didn't knock out Justin Gaethje this way, but same shit. He was in the pocket with Justin Gaethje, a guy that you don't want to be in the pocket with. Dropped him, nearly finished him on the mat, and ended up subbing him. Like, he's not bad in the pocket. Ilia Topuria is just that good in boxing range. He's just that good. Like, you don't get to make mistakes against this guy.
You can't afford to right now.
Yeah. Max Holloway fought beautifully for 3 rounds. Minute 34 left, gets fucking caught, and that's all you need. That's all you need, really. It's for. Sorry to cut you off, but go ahead, man. I mean, that was just, you can't make mistakes against it.
No, I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss. I'm like, what else can you say about this guy at this point? He's calling every shot and he's doing the damn thing. I think what I was gonna say was, I think if they do go to Spain, I think if you do Spain, it has to be the Patty fight. I think you take Patty into anime territory if that is the case. I think the next fight is Arman. If we're gonna be correct here,
if we're being fair, yeah.
Dude, run Gaethje Patty on the undercard, bro. Number 1 contender right there. Give him 5 rounds. Fuck it.
So I believe this has already been leaked by shout out Dricus Duplessis. He said that the co-main event of this fight with Hamzat is going to be Patty Pimble versus Justin Gaethje. That's not confirmed. That's just what he's heard, obviously. But
if that's true, that's a fucking crazy card.
Crazy card, crazy fight, and then you run the Arman fight in the meantime. And also, let's be clear here. As much as I think Ilia Topuria, like, I'm never going to doubt him again. I'm going to pick him to beat Arman. I'm going to pick him to beat Patty, which, by the way, I think he dog walk Patty. I texted you. I think that's just a bad fight for Patty.
No, but he's a tough guy. He's hard to get out. He's a tough
guy. He's tough to get out of there. Which
I feel like the kind of person who's gonna have to beat Patty's gonna be a guy with like a demonically good chin.
Yeah.
Great takedowns, or great takedown defense, and either match war or comparable power, or knows how to fight on the outside. There's still a lot of things that I haven't seen Ilia like have to necessarily go through. Like, haven't seen someone do a lot of kicks to the legs.
There you go.
You know, a lot of that. You know, and like we've seen him get caught with head kicks up high. You know, get the kicks low, get him. You know, kind of maybe catch him like in a Leon Usman scenario.
We've even seen him face kind of an elite wrestler.
Not a pure outside of Mitchell, Bryce, but
I wouldn't call it Bryce, but I view
Bryce is a
Mitchell
pure
more of
grappler.
Yeah, not really like a wrestler in that way.
Also, Ilia's strong, but I still don't know, and a lot of people credit.
Yeah,
Charles is also very strong, has a lot of physicality, but I also feel like Arman, like that physicality that Arman brings is to be interesting.
That's I was about to say. I think Ilia. I'm not gonna pick anybody to beat Ilia right now at 155, but I do think Arman could give him some trouble.
That's what I think. I think right now the big thing about 155, it's not necessarily that I think fights can get tricky for him.
Yes,
that's the big thing. Fights can get tricky for him, and I'm curious to see how he solves those puzzles. That's my biggest interest with him now.
Yeah. Well, and he is pound for pound number 1 right now. We should say that now, pound for pound number 1. And you can't argue against it.
I was gonna say, can you even argue against him? By the way, Pantoja finally getting some love. We'll get to that too soon, eventually.
I feel like this is the first fight he's actually started to get love.
It's been long awaited.
Yeah.
Finally, the community has been outraged enough to like show some level of love and respect. And God, dude, it took way too long.
I agree.
It took way too long, and I feel like he's in the right spot. Because I was trying to look at it and maybe be like, could he be up higher? Could he be lower? But then I was going. Because right now, dude, the guys, the champs, there's some motherfuckers, dude.
We are in a very good period when it comes to champions. I mean, at least, okay, here's the thing, right? Here's a pound for pound top 5, which is kind of spoiling us a little bit because we didn't really break down Pantoja's fight, but we'll talk about it anyway. Here's even top 6, okay? Ilia Topuria, Islam Makhachev,
those two right there.
Merab Dvalishvili, Dricus Duplessis, Alexander Pantoja, and Alexander Volkanovski. That's a fucking insane top 6. And maybe you can put Pantoja over DDP and maybe Merab, but I mean...
But taking into account, though, he finished Whitaker, finished Izzy.
Exactly.
Made it decisive against Sean the second time, who's a former champion now. That's the thing. We need to add that context. Beat 3 former champions.
Yeah. I'd actually rather maybe put DDP over Merab.
I think DDP deserves to be over Merab, personally.
Yeah. I think that Usman... Umar win is really kind of bumping up Merab a lot.
I mean, Merab's run is really good, but when you look, I think if you add if you really dive into the context of Dricus's, I think Dricus is the superior.
I would agree. let's close out on the main event real quickly. Charles DuBronx Oliveira, 35 years old. He is his second loss in a row. Not in a row, but like in a title fight, excuse me. 35-11. Regardless of what happens, he's still an all-time great.
One of the greatest lightweights ever.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could still, I think even before this fight, you could have made a case like maybe the greatest lightweight of all time. Genuinely. I still think by the time all said and done, he's probably gonna have a longevity argument. But what do you think could be next for him? It seems like at this point in time, he's kind of an impasse. He's not washed, but he is. You know,
I said it that night. I'm like, dude, what can we ask from him? 46 professional bouts, several years in the sport, banger after banger, former champion, one of the most entertaining runs at the time, one of the best personalities in the sport. What the fuck else do you want? For me, fun fight. So be it. I think he should fight. If Max Holloway wins the BMFL, fight Max Holloway for the BMFL. And that's a hard fight. But hey, there's a storyline there. They fought before. Max is at 155 now, former 45er. Charles now at 55, former 45er as well. Both former champs. If Max is to win the BMF title, that'd be a really fun matchup. I mean, I think Charles is just, I think he's like at this point, I think intelligently and I think for his career and to make good money, maybe be a 55 gatekeeper. And if you can slide yourself and get into a title shot, so be it. But right now, be a top 10 gatekeeper, be a top 5 gatekeeper, top 8, top 6. Fight those upper kind of guys and do this matchup. Fight, like I said, fight Max. Fight, maybe fight Gamrot at one point. That could be a fun matchup. Yeah. If the Dan Hooker fight comes around, Dan Hooker, another former 45er to 55er. The Fiziev fight would be interesting. I mean, for him, it's just to challenge yourself in different ways at this point and know what you can do. I mean, the guy is 35 going on I think he's turning 36 this year. I mean, like I said, what else the fuck do you want from this guy? He has done his part in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, he's an all-time great.
And if he wants to move on or retire after this, so be it too. I'm not going to be mad.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he retired, but it depends on what he wants to do. If he wants, I think I wouldn't hate him just becoming a fun fight gatekeeper type guy. Like fight,
kind of did what Dustin did in the latter half of his career.
In the latter half of the career, fight the fun fights, and if you can slide yourself into a title shot, then and you got that opportunity, you can get in there, then go for it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think maybe you should be necessarily chasing it so much anymore. Not because I'm saying he doesn't have it in him, but he's 35. He's had 46 camps.
Oh, and he's in a weird spot too, because like he's not he is clearly like at least top 3 in this division still. I think, in my opinion,
right?
But he's just not like he fought Islam and he lost, and then he fought Arman in a split decision. Lots of people have argued he could have won that fight, including one judge, obviously. And then this Ilia fight, like he can't get over the hump to win the title again. But he's still that good to be like, oh shit, like this guy could. Would he beat Arman Sarukian if he bought him in a rematch? Maybe. Like he's just that good, you know. I think you do fun fights at 155. I'm also gonna pitch. I'm just gonna throw it out there. He's always famously had a really tough time cutting to 155. Have some fun fights at 170. Fuck it. You know? Like, would you turn down a Kamaru Usman Charles Oliveira fight? I didn't think about it before. I didn't think about it before right now. I'm just saying.
I thought about 170, but I think he would have. I think he would have to put on some serious size for 170.
I would agree with you, but I also don't think it would take that long. You know, he's a big 155er. He's deceptively big. Even in the cage of Ilia, even though he got knocked the fuck out, he looked.
I think he could build up to it. I think. There is fun fights there. Maybe the weight change just for fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like at this point,
I think if he wants to actually still be very hyper competitive and like chase the title, I think a weight class change could be fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying like he needs to do it. I'm just saying, hey man, you're in a weird spot.
Take 6 months off by January, February. Fight at
why not?
Fight at 170.
Why not, dude? Do some fun shit.
Talk to the UFC. Be like, hey guys, this is kind of my goal. I don't know how many more fights I have left in me. But I think maybe I have one last run. Maybe I want to make the transition to 170. I have a story. He has a storyline there with Islam. If Islam doesn't win the title,
there you go.
Or if he even doesn't win the title,
exactly. There's so many good fights you can make for him there. I think that he's in a weird spot, and that's I think I pitch this a lot whenever guys lose. But when I just think like, dude, just from my own perspective, I've seen what it can do for guys when you're not killing yourself to make weight. And in cases like this, whenever you're not gonna win the title, whenever you're locked out of title contention at the moment. And you're already, he's about to be 36 in a few months. Why not just say fuck it and be like, you know what? For the latter half of my career, I'm going to cut less weight and I'm going to put on some fun fights, And if I get myself into a title shot, so be it. But I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of fun stuff Charlie Olives can do. He's still a legend, and whatever he does, I'll be there for it.
Right.
The champion has a name, even though he no longer has the belt, and that's Charles Oliveira. Co-main event though. One man who still has the belt.
By the way, we are now back to only one Brazilian champion, but we still, by the way, we still have a Brazilian champion. It hasn't ended.
And that one man being the Cannibal.
By the way, isn't that stat crazy?
Alexander Pantoja.
That Brazil's
Dude.
always had a UFC champion. There's only like a short period, like
There was like 3 fucking days when in 2016 when they didn't have a champion. It was like fucking, what was it? It was RDA lost the belt to Eddie Alvarez.
and then Amanda won it, right? Was it Amanda that the guy?
And Aldo. They both won at UC 200 that same night. Yeah, because like it was RDA was the only champion. Eddie beats him. They have that was like the tough finale. They have another event on Friday. They have Saturday UC 200, and they won the belts back. It was literally like a combined 48 hours. It was ridiculous.
It's fucking. It's kind of awesome though how they've like
They're that good. They're that good.
So Pantoja, let's see how long he can hold it until we have an. And I don't know if there's another Brazilian fighter in any position to like win a title at this time.
Well, and also just to say this. So I said this for Ilia Topuria. Like I'm done doubting him. I never doubted Alexander Pantoja, but he is so much better than I thought he was going to be.
Well,
like
and I need to say it on the show. This fucker leveled up. He's leveled up, and he knows how to. I think he knows how he needs to fight to stick around for a while. Because dude, you saw in the Oscar fight, you saw in this fight, he wasn't sticking around. And in this KKF fight, dude, I can't remember. But there was a point where he came in, where he was trying to exchange, and he was like, "Yeah, no, fuck this," and he went for the takedown. But even then, on the feet, he was still a live dog. I don't know if you caught this, but KKF kept dipping.
Yeah.
Dipping off to the left, kind of dipping off to the right. And I called it out. I was like, hey, he's going to throw a head. You're going to see him throw a kick or a knee. And you saw it. He started throwing a kick and he started throwing a knee once he started doing that. I mean, it didn't end up leading to anything, but the threat was there now for KKF.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy is just going to take your fucking back and submit your fucking ass. Like,
this is what I said going into the fight. I was like, maybe if KKF caught him earlier, whenever he was still going whenever he was the wild cannibal, like, but after he beat Brandon Royval, he's like, you know what, I gotta change my shit up. Like I gotta hold on to this thing. And he is, I can't remember what boxing analyst or fighter that said this. They're like, whenever you win the belt, you get better by 20% or 30%. And that's not always the case, but that's the fucking case for Alexander Pantoja. He's a guy that got the strap and is like, you know what, I gotta level up. I gotta go to my roots. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And dude, he went through Kai Sakura like he was nothing. And Kai Sakura is a generation. Like, he's such a good guy. And then you have Kai Kara France, who, look, Kai Kara France has been beaten in the UFC. We know there's a pathway to beat him. But even this one, I mean, I didn't expect him to just go through him like that.
I thought Kai would show up because of the moment. That was kind of what I was banking on.
Well, and
I think Kai showed his level now, which is kind of sad for him. Yeah. I think it's kind of a sad story because he had, and you saw it, dude. When he lost, they didn't put the camera on him long enough, dude. You saw the pain. That man grew, like, he literally rolled over on the fucking octagon and cried.
Yeah.
Dude, like, that is some real fucking emotion, dude. That's the other side of this sport.
Well, yeah, and the whole thing...
That's the other side of the coin, dude.
For him, too. But by the way, the UFC, the fact they got rid of the series, or maybe they do it and I just don't see it because it's on, like, Fight Pass, ESPN Plus, and I just don't. It's tucked in a corner somewhere. The Thrill and the Agony. Remember that series?
No.
They would record, like, they'd follow, like, the winners and the losers after the fight. It would show, like, post-fight footage.
Oh, my God.
Behind the scenes.
Is that where that one famous clip is? I can't remember. I think he had, like, black hair that kind of was spiked up. And he, like, I think he punches a fucking... like almost like wooden door in a locker room. Is that what that's from?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of good shit that came out of that. There was a lot of good shit back in the day.
That shit's real. Dude.
Yo Romero, Tim Kennedy, like
that crash out must have been wild.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, Yoel? Like,
I've seen the clip.
Tim. Like, it's just... anyways. So, but for Kai Kara France, it's especially brutal. You're talking about a guy who came to the UFC. Decent. He was viewed as a high-profile prospect.
He lost a lot when he was young. Most of his, like, you see that record, 25-12. The majority of those losses are at the start of the career pre-UFC.
Exactly. He was 12-7, losing and rising in 2016. Like, that's where
you
he
see
was.
12-7. You would have thought this guy was not going to make it to the UFC ever.
Exactly. But then, you know what? He eventually made it. He beat Julian Pavia. He beat a few guys, and then he had losses.
What a draw! Oh my God.
Yeah, you remember that guy?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, that guy was. You know what? I still hate they cut that motherfucker, man. That guy was fun as fuck. You look, I pulled up his record.
Isn't he old as shit though? That's the only issue.
No, he's 29 now.
What?
Yeah, so he lost to Kai Kara France. He lost to Rodrigo Bonteran. He knocked out Mark De La Rosa. He beat.
They should have kept him around. He was a good but he moved to 35.
He beat Kyler Phillips, but then he lost to O'Malley, and then he lost to Sergey Morozov. And they're like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Which those are two. I mean, if you're gonna lose the two guys. Yeah.
The issue is for I think Kai though, he's just lost so much to that next level where you see he can't get over that hump. because he lost to Pantoja on Tough.
Yeah.
He lost to Moreno. He lost to Royval.
Yeah.
He lost to Moreno again. He had the split against Albazi, so be it.
Bullshit, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And then he lost to Pantoja again. Like those, you look at those names, that's the elite. And even like whether or not you have your opinions, like people have their opinions about the Albazi. Albazi's still in that top 5 of that.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't look good on paper either, Yeah.
Well, and for him, and especially as I was gonna say earlier, it has to be especially brutal because he came in, he had some highs, he had some lows, and then he got himself into that title fight with Moreno back in 2022, and it's kind of like maybe this is his moment. He lost, came up short. Okay, it happens. And he lost to Albazi. Like, maybe we're going to be locked out. And then he fought Steve Erceg. And Steve Erceg was the shit kind of at the time, like really high profile, kind of riding some momentum. And then he knocked him out.
He also had the pressure of being part of the CKB guys. I mentioned that last week. Like, whether or not that's true or not, like, he was part of that crew where it was Volk, Izzy, and then you had the little guy, Kai. And then those 2 guys got their title. But it's like we were waiting on Kai. We had been waiting on Kai for years to be in this position.
Well, it's not like he lucked into this position, but to get the opportunity when you probably didn't deserve it or probably didn't expect it, and then to come up short again
in the most saddest way, dude.
Yeah, because this showed his level. It showed that he is levels below Alexander Pantoja, not just one. Like he's not just coming up short. It's him getting.
He's 32. It's not over. He can do it. It's just gonna take getting into that fucking gym. And getting into this fucking mindset of like, I'm never gonna lose again. Yeah, and it's not impossible.
But you know what's exciting about this, Angel? Normally, I ask you, all right, we just had the fight with Pantoja. Who could he possibly fight? I mean, like he's already beaten everybody.
Wait, what's next for KKF? Realistically,
KKF, you got to go back to the drawing board. You fight a guy like Tatsuro Tara. You fight a guy like Manel Cape. That's it.
You gotta take out these young guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of at a point where it's like
he has to become undeniable again. He needs to go in there and be like, something, I'm not gonna get another opportunity. I'm gonna get in there.
And he's at an age and he's good enough to where he can do it. That I was saying earlier, like it felt like they were trying to kind of set him up with the Steve Erceg fight. Like kind of set him up. Steve Erceg had the momentum. He was kind of becoming like a fan favorite at that time, and then kind of just fucked that whole shit up. He could do that again,
like that.
He could. He's that good. But at least with Alexander Pantoja, he's levels below him. But we're gonna find out if Joshua Van is levels below him, because Joshua Van. I mean,
I have my opinions about this though.
This is, I mean, for my money, the fight of the year thus far. Joshua Van.
Oh, it's untouched.
Defeats Brandon Royval.
Dude, I thought Sadako Moda had it locked up last week.
Hell no.
Man.
These guys go out there, and this is Gotti Ward. This is Bigfoot Hunt. This is Lawler McDonald. This is Lawler Condit. This is Lawler Hendricks. He's that Shadow Robert. Oh, that funny. But anyway, so this is a generational war. Joshua Van on 3 weeks' notice defeats Brandon Royval, the number 1 contender, and now the number 1 contender at flyweight, and then faces off with Alexander Pantoja in the cage.
By the way, this guy's our age.
It's mind blowing, isn't it? It's mind blowing.
First 2000s born fighter to fight in a title.
Yeah, and he's probably going to be more than likely 24 when he fights. He's 23 right now, turning 24 in October. Probably going to be 24 when he fights the belt. If I had to, just because they got to give this fucking guy some time off. I mean, he didn't really take a lot of damage against Bruno Silva, but still, he fought, and then he fought here, and this was just a lot of damage, even though he won.
If I'm them, I was his team, I'd be like, hey, can we get this shit in December?
Yeah, let's take some time off, because I'm very cautious whenever we see these young guys do this, but still, I'm at a loss for words. It was just nonstop for 15 minutes going to war. This is the type of shit that you dream about as an MMA fan. This is what you think. Like, God damn, could you imagine if they just go in there
I like this fight, but I'm gonna get into it. I had my issues in it because I felt like for one, dude, this is fucking MMA, dude. Things not working out. Go for a fucking takedown.
I was shocked he did not go for a takedown.
And then another thing, early on, you saw Royval was throwing leg kicks a lot on the outside.
Yes,
he kind of stopped that. His jab was on point.
Yeah,
he was landing that jab for a while there.
Yeah.
I mean, if he would have kept fighting like that, he stuck to move, kept throwing leg kicks, throwing that jab out there, fighting behind that jab, even mixed some takedowns in there. I think this is easily Royval's fight. I think this was a strategically mismanaged fight out of Royval, in my opinion. But it was also a hell of a performance by Ban by taking advantage of that. So I'm not going to take anything away from Ban, but I do want to highlight the issues in this fight that were presented that could have led to a victory for Royval.
It does feel like one of those fights, like we talked about this whenever Michael Chandler fought Justin Gaethje. He let that one get away from him because he was in favor of like putting on.
That's why I hate that fight.
Yeah, like he kind of.
That's why I never claimed that fight as fight of the year.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, this is not like.
Yeah.
This is a bang out. I like it, but this isn't, to me, this isn't the highlight. Like, this is not fight of the year. To me, fight of the year is you're showing and like sometimes you don't get a choice. I'll put it like that for fight of the year.
Oh yeah.
But for me, dude, I want to see everything. I want to see fucking rolls. I want to see you against the cage. I want to see clinching. I want to see elbows. I want it to be a fucking mess in there.
You are an MMA fan. You're not just a
dude,
blood guts fan.
Which I do like. Don't get me wrong. Like every now that's like, dude, Sadikov.
Yeah, there you go.
That shit got me going, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like me some Takayama, Don Fry shit.
Fucking
that shit does get my blood going. But I also do hate when you fight a fight so wrong and you don't think things are right, and there's things you're doing right and you're not continuing to do them. And I'm like, there's no way that I'm seeing this and you're not seeing this, or your coach are not seeing this. Because then even later on, Van got more comfortable. He started throwing that sidekick on the entry, and that just changed the game. After that, fucking Royval was done for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. And that's kind of what I was going to say. It's like, as much as I like Brandon Royval, it does kind of show I want to say fight IQ level, because Joshua Van's still very young. But I to an extent, kind of, because you did see late in that fight, Brandon Royval went away from the game plan to stick to the jab, use your length. You know what Joshua Van was doing though late?
He stuck to what he knew.
He stuck to what he knew. And dude, that just chopping leg kick. Just right, dude.
Third round. He saved it for the third round. And then on the third, there was nothing he could do to address it.
Yeah, because Brandon Royval, the heart of this kid too. He was getting hit from 8 different directions, getting kicked in the legs.
Also, if you're gonna get like that, dude, Revolve's about where's the fucking spinning shit, dude? Where were the elbows?
That's another thing. Yeah.
Like, I'm like, dude, if you're gonna get wild like this, throw the threats, throw the wild shit now. Because in the third round, I'm like, dude, he needs to go out here and make this shit decisive. And it got away from him. He could have made it close. He could have had it up in the air. 30-27 was disgusting, just to clarify. I know people have their opinions about that. In my opinion, I thought that was incorrect. 29-28 was the correct score.
Yeah, correct.
If it came down to that, and then we would have had, I don't even know what the fuck the result we could have had there would have been. Majority decision or whatever it would have been. Don't even get me fucking started. I would have had a crash out at the house. Regardless, the right guy won. It was Van. Beautiful fucking moment. He's next for Pantoja. I mean, it's so far out. I kind of do want to talk about it. I know we usually don't like previewing fights this early, but I just want to say it. I think it's too much too soon. Granted, he got to this position. He fought the moment. I just don't think it's an ideal fight for Van. I think for Pantoja, it's a great matchup. He's going to eat that kid up. So be it. I mean, Van's 23. Like, he's got years to get to this sport. But I hope that after this Pantoja fight, no matter whatever the result is, he does slow down just for his longevity.
I would agree with you. I think he needs to slow down, especially now that you're at this position. Like, if you want to fight to get to this position, you want to fight 4 times a year. Kind of like the Mike Tyson strategy. Mike was fighting fucking 6 times a year whenever he was like 18, 19, 20. More than that, actually.
You can get away with that.
You can get away with that
for so long.
But now that you're fighting the top guys, you saw the damage you took in this one. Let's slow the roll a little bit. But look, there's a lot of question marks, right? A lot of question marks for him against Pantoja. We haven't seen him fight, utilize the grappling in that sort of way.
So he lost to Charles Johnson, which
I love Charles Johnson.
Pantoja has never lost to a guy in the last 10 years on the level of Charles Johnson.
Yeah, and Charles Johnson's legit. Charles Johnson, I think,
he's underrated.
The most underrated guy at 125. But at the same time, he still lost to him. And that's a guy that's not even. I mean, he was ranked for a little bit, but no longer ranked.
Formerly ranked, not ranked. But granted, I got my issues with some of the Charles Johnson career paths that were taken.
It's clear they had never had an interest in promoting him, so they were giving him a lot of bad matchups. He just so happened to win a lot of those
because he's that fucking
just that guy. But anyway,
by the way, he's been getting love on Twitter.
I know, I've seen that.
And Instagram.
I was actually going to buy his merch. I was going to buy some merch.
He's got to drop a promo. Yeah. Be at the bar for the Van fight. I beat that guy one time.
I like that.
This one's it's too easy now.
It's too easy.
It's too easy now. But he's got to go to a bar while the Van and Pantoja fight's playing. He's like, I beat that guy one time.
Yeah. But a Joshua Van Alexander Pantoja fight, I have no idea how that one would go. Obviously, off the top of my head, I'm gonna pick Pantoja to win. There's a lot of question marks around.
The question marks are on Van, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Which, look, he's young. We haven't seen him in that sort of situation.
Hasn't fought 5 rounds.
He's not fought 5 rounds. He's not had to fight,
no one near the level of Pantoja.
In the grappling too, there's so many question marks. But he's another guy. It's like, God, I don't know if I
think if Van would have fought a Moreno, fought a Pantoja like that, like leading up to, it'd be different. Maybe in a cape. I even say a cape.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Because Royval he's good, He's a tough guy to get through.
But if you get him into a war, he is beatable. And Joshua Van drawed him into the war.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, I'm excited for that fight. I'm happy the flyweight division's popping, man. I mean, it's you and I have been talking about this for so long, but it took this long. But they're finally getting the respect.
We've been on this 125 shit for years, bro.
Literal years.
Probably over 10 years at this point.
Yeah. So I'm happy for it, but let's see what they could do. Hopefully that fight gets booked for the later part of this year. Rest of the main card: Beneil Dariush defeating Renato Moicano. This is an upset, man.
I feel like this one got away from Moicano too.
It did.
But Beneil turned it up, so credit to him.
Yeah, correct. Beneil's first win since October 2022.
3 years.
He throwing himself back into contention, man. He needed this one bad. So,
granted, though, if Beneil wasn't to beat a guy at the right time, it was gonna be Moicano.
It would.
I was talking to my boys that night because I didn't put any money on this fight. And I was like, dude, if someone would have asked me what money or what fight to avoid betting on, I was like 100% it would have been this one. And you saw why.
Yeah.
I wasn't, because look, Moicano came out great at the start, right? If your bet's live, you're like, man, it's going. But then it switches over and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was really a fight that I felt like slipped away from Renato Moicano. With just a little bit more activity, I thought I could have got this one done, but good for Benny.
Also, these guys are both the old guys at 155 at this
They
point.
are. Yeah.
I mean, granted, 55 is full of old guys, but these guys are,
they're both like the older gatekeepers of the division at this point. So
yeah, and I hate to say it, but we need some movement, man, at 55 at the lower end, and we need to sign some talent. I know they have signed some people, but we need some more guys coming in and pushing up. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but like a week or two ago, it came out officially. Joel Alvarez is officially moving to 170.
Thank God. Yeah, he's not really been a 155 in my eyes. It's been kind of sitting around waiting for him to move, make it official.
I mean, he had made 155, but then it was just getting too hard. And I was like, okay, bro, now we got to go to 170.
We know. He's had trouble making it for years, so I don't know. But
yeah,
shout out Peyton Talbot, man. Actually, he was the underdog heading into the year, but he ends up getting an upset win. Looked good against Felipe Lima, man. 29-28 across the board. Happy for the kid. What'd you think?
I think for his own confidence, for the public eye, he needed this one. He came back, he made improvements, and people kind of, I think, are appreciating him again.
Yeah.
But dude, like, I feel bad because even there's still comments like, and there's always going to be people out there. It's never going to be ending. They're like, shittier O'Malley, yada, yada. You know how people are.
He's not even anything like Sean O'Malley, though.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's a striking, style. I think that's more or less what it is. But look, I mean, I'm happy for the guy. I'm happy for the guy because I think he's a good thing. He's a good person to have around. I feel like I said, in this space, in this time, in this sport, I look at him like on the way that he's like an oddball to people, like I'm like a Diego Sanchez type. Like he's just different from the status quo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just different from that, and that's perfectly fine. We need a variety of looks and people in the sport, man. That's what this shit's about. There's so many cultures, so many different countries that come across in this shit. They're like, being so differently personality wise is infinitely like a very interesting thing to like multiple people. Like he's led a path for new people that would have never watched fights to watch fights now.
Yeah.
And that's, guys in different subcultures and then a lot of women for different reasons. But hey, man, that's good, dude. Now a girl will watch a fight and maybe get into training or, watch other fights, become a fight fan. Like inherently, I think is positive. There's no negativity coming from Peyton Talbot being a successful fighter.
Exactly.
We'll talk about guys and having negativity in the sport later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have that written down, that clip I sent you where a cop allegedly got hit in a cage, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, trust me, I already have that in the rundown. Come on, man. So yeah, I mean, just to kind of close down Peyton Talbot, man. Look, great. I mean, he I'm happy for the kid. Like you said, he is an interesting personality, and I respect anybody who's authentically themselves.
Also, I think people forget this is a 135 unranked prospect.
Correct. Well, and this is a societal thing in general. This isn't even an MMA thing. I feel like so many people are just like, I don't know if it's due to the rise of the internet, but like everybody, oh my God, that's so cringe, bro. Oh my God, you like just like.
I was talking to this with someone earlier.
Yeah.
I think it was yesterday because I was talking about soccer because right now they're having like they're doing the World Cup or the club. Yeah, the club.
I saw that. Yeah,
the Club World Cup, and then we're having the Gold Cup, which is all like the CONCACAF, like the U.S. and all North America teams competing for the cup. But I was talking about Mexico had a player to be 16 years old, and we were like, he was on the bench. And they're like, they kept asking when they're going to beat him, where they're going to do it. And I was like, dude, they got to put him in there, dude. You got to build these young guys' confidence up, and it's hard because in this media, like. I feel like if you, as a coach, for one, you got to protect them. You know, the players got to protect them. Be like, hey, bro, we got your back. We're gonna look out after if you make any mistakes. Like, hey, I got you, but just be on your A game. And not even just that, but even after the match, like, dude, don't get on fucking social media. Don't look at any of this. Like, I feel like now more than ever, I think every athlete should have, and every team should have a sports psychologist talking to these guys on a regular basis, being like, don't get on the fucking internet, bro, after a loss. Don't get on the internet. Don't even get on the internet after a win. Yeah. Stay off this shit. Don't read anything for a few days. Let everything simmer after the season, and do your fucking thing. No, you don't know these people. These people are making. The only comments that should matter to you are your coach, your teammates, and the results. You know. Yeah. I think but.
No. I see where you're coming from because it like I said, it's a societal thing. Like, I feel like
the modern athlete of today has to deal with issues that the athlete of, I'd say, even like 10, 15 years ago didn't have to deal with on a regular day-to-day basis. Like,
the internet, like, it's only gotten worse, you know. Like, I feel like everybody's just like ironic, like, oh my god, like, I'm so ironic, like I hate everything, dude. Like, I'm so funny, like, oh my god, like, I'm so ironically detached.
And then we got rage evade and all that.
Yeah, like, you know, I feel like 8 out of 10 people you count on the internet is just a complete fucking loser now. So if I'm Peyton Talbot, hey man, good for you yourself. You know, don't let people, you know, bring that down from you.
And I don't think that's getting to him, which I think is good. Just from the way he carries himself, the way he presents himself. He's like, dude, I'm me. I don't give a fuck on any of those things.
Which is awesome because I've never understood that. You know, like, just who gives a fuck? You know, like, honestly. And look, Peyton Talbot, I don't think him and I would have been friends. You know what I mean? But like, he seems like he's a fine dude. You know,
he's a chill dude.
You know. Rest of the card. Gregor Rodriguez murdering Jack Hermanson. This was the highlight of the night, I think, up until the main event. I mean, Jack was out for like a lot.
It was so bad. We had medical updates into it deep into the main card,
which that's how you know it's bad. And look, Gregor Rodriguez, I thought maybe he might win this one, but
I thought he would win this personally.
But just the way he did that shit, I did not see that coming at all. Just a murderous punch. And then also, he did not do the Lyoto Machida. He did not hold back. Said he just tried to murder him. So
people had an issue with that, which I'm like,
I go two ways about it.
I thought Luke had a great take on this. It's like by the letter of the law, you know.
Yeah, I'm very mixed on it. I think you probably shouldn't do it. But look, I mean, it's the game, dude.
And I get it, dude, because it is adrenaline. It is pumping with you. And also, when a guy drops like that and he hits his head, sometimes he comes back.
Yeah, it does.
It happens.
That happens. So
that happens, and he didn't want to risk that. And like I said, at the same time, I think Herb could have been there quicker too.
That's Herb. That Herb Dean's
It sounds like funny, but that meme has aged so well. Like, that's Herb Dean's fault.
That is Herb Dean's fault. That's probably
1,000%.
Shout out Jose Delgado. I did not see this one.
By the way, this highlight got overlooked so hard. I know you said the other one was highlighted. I feel like this one got buried, but it deserves love.
Hyder Emil is a motherfucker.
Because, dude, I don't know why, but edits started coming through of Jose Delgado, and I was like on my feed, and I'm like, this guy's about to do some shit, isn't he? Dude, no fucking way. I did not expect him to land the most demonic knee that I've seen all year.
Yeah, dude, just a brutal knee, man. Great stuff.
I mean, he put him out.
Jose Delgado. Yeah, and Hyder Emil, like I said earlier, really good, 11-0. I don't know if you call him a prospect because he's 35, but he was something like a 35-year-old prospect, man. You're kind of trying to see how far he can go.
He was managing well. Like, I think he was getting by good enough, but then, I mean, this stopped all that. Brutal. Fucking Jose Delgado. What about that fucking guy now, right?
Brutal, dude. Yeah, man. Another guy, another young talent, 145. That's what we need. Love to see it.
But speaking about violence, where the fuck is Mean Machine at? You know,
come on, man.
Where's Chepe Mariscal at?
Where's he at?
I need these guys who cause chaos. Dude. I swear to God, I need to see one of those guys fight. I feel like it's been forever.
For real, dude. For real.
Fucking Machine Gun Mariscal. What a fucking name, right?
I love it, dude. I love it. Nonetheless, man. Shout out Tracy Cortez picking up a winner of Viviane Adrugo.
Dominant, but I think this is what she had to do. Yeah. She had to go in there and beat this gal who's on the higher end, age-wise, and on the lower end, record-wise, in recent time. I mean, she did what she had to do.
Yeah, it was a nice get back after she lost to Rose last year. She needed this one.
She dominated her. That's what she needed to do. Yeah.
Terrence McKinney. Dude, it is mind-blowing, and I said it on Twitter. The fact that Terrence McKinney has never gotten a performance of the night bonus or a fight of the night is fucking absurd. And the streak continues, even though he submits Borshev inside of a minute.
I guess it doesn't matter because this fight's only last second, so he can make pretty decent quick turnaround.
That's true, yeah. Hey, man, look, I'd like to see him get a big fight next. 4 of his last 5, all wins, all finishes.
You know what I heard, or what Luke said that I love? He said, this is MMA's Evel Knievel. You know, he just goes and just shoots himself out of a fucking cannon. He may or may not make it across the canyon.
Yeah. but he gets paid for the attempt, and that's all you can ask of him, man. Yeah, he goes out there and puts on a show. I love me some Terrence McKinney. Love T-Rex. Yeah, Jacoby Smith. Look, he was the biggest favorite of all time. Almost got away from him for a minute there.
According to Tapology, I don't know what we had through BetMGM, official sponsor of the show. Use code Soundoff,
Yeah, I believe but I saw on some betting lines as high as a minus 2,300. So
I saw 2,200.
So there we go. Okay, defeating Nico Price by second round submission. If this was a Nico Price of maybe 5-10 years ago,
it gets tricky.
It gets real tricky.
I mean, it was getting tricky.
It was getting tricky, but ends up winning by second round sub. Good stuff for him, but maybe this is kind of a check moment for kind of like, okay, maybe he's not going to be UFC champion.
By the way, didn't someone bet like 25K on Oliveira?
I think so, yeah.
I think they popped that shit up, yeah.
Yeah, probably just some dumbass with a lot of money to blow. But
so be it.
And then Johnson Denise defeating Alvin Hines. That's the fight that happened.
I mean, we knew this was going to happen, right?
Yeah, 29-28.
Alvin Hines is a tough guy, though.
Tough guy.
Tough fucking guy.
29-28 across the board. It is what it is.
Yeah, you did what you were supposed to do.
Any closing thoughts on this card before we go ahead and move on?
Man, we missed out on some fights. But overall, I think it was still a good card. I mean, Josh, it's been a while. I don't know if we've been consistent with this or not, but
yeah.
What is your letterbox grade for this card?
Oh man, I mean, for me, that main event was so mind blowing. The fight of the year on here, great co-main event. I'm gonna go solid.
Once again, I think they dropped the ball by not having Gregory Rodriguez, Jack Hermanson in there. Over
they did. Am I rating the whole card or just the main card?
You gotta do pay-per-view. I feel like that's what we try to do with.
If you're doing just the pay-per-view, you gotta go 4 stars, my brother. You gotta go 4. Or you know what? A 3.7. I'm gonna go with 3.7.
What really?
A 3.7.
The Tabit and Dariush fights kind of held it back a little bit.
Yeah, but even then, I like Peyton Talbot.
The 3 top cards were pretty good. I think I am gonna be nice here. I think I'm gonna go a 4, just a solid 4.
Solid 4. I like that. Yeah, fair enough, man. I mean, it's hard to argue.
Maybe even like a 3.9 if I want to be mean.
It was good. It was a good card.
Overall, though, what would you give that? I think at that point, it's like a 4.2 for me, the whole card.
Yeah, 4.2. I give it a 3.7. The undercard had some mixed,
but the finishes
stuff on there. I'm gonna go 3.9. 3.9, maybe a flat 4, maybe.
Damn.
It's a good card. Good card. We haven't had a card.
You're a little bit more hypercritical than me. I was actually a nice guy this week. I think last week I was much harsher.
Fuck. I mean, a fucking 4 out of 5 is pretty good. Like
no. We both went 4. We were both in 4s and like high 3s.
Yeah,
like
so.
Granted, though, it's a 5-star scale, right?
Yeah,
It's like a 4 is pretty damn fucking good,
exactly,
and a high 3 is pretty fucking good. I forgot who I was talking to, dude, but we were talking about like food or something. He's like, "Oh, I give it like a 7 out of 10." Like, dude, a 7 is it's still pretty fucking good. Like, you got to think about how bad a 4 is in a comparison to a 7.
We have been IGNified as a society to where a 7 just means it's okay. To where it's like, you know what I mean? Like everything gets a 7.
Like 7's pretty good, man.
Yeah. So
like think about what a 5 is in compared to a 7.
Exactly.
7 is pretty solid.
I feel like people are kind of like, I feel like they grade stuff as like if it's a US like grading scale as opposed to like the actual numbers, because it's like in the US the grading scale a 70 is not great, but if I hear like a 7 out of 10, oh, it's all right, that's good.
Well, you know, like
you're higher on the scale.
In some other schools, they score you on like a 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah,
like you got all 10s.
Yeah, there you go.
10s is like good, really good.
Nonetheless, man, we do have a few news bits to hit, not too much, but a little bit. I'm happy we didn't spend much time on this because like it went the way I thought it would. Jake Paul defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Oh man, as we all know, dude, rehab is the best base for boxing.
A lot of people actually tuned into this fight.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people. Let's also say this: I hate that people make me defend Jake Paul. The fight wasn't rigged. If you don't like that, you don't like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
How do you
boxing?
think that one individual feels about Jake winning this fight? You knew who I'm talking about,
dude. And you know what? Like
that guy must be having like a crash. I wish I haven't seen him post on any social media, but I'm just curious.
That guy, and I mean this with like the nicest way I can put this. Like he is a genuine room temperature IQ human being. Like he's just genuinely like, I think we shouldn't let him drive. That's how dumb he is.
Yeah.
Is like
I'll give him credit. I mean, he likes fights.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and I'm not gonna go any further with that. But I mean, you get where I'm going. Anyways, Jake Paul winning by unanimous decision. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. deciding after round 7, oh shit, I can throw punches. I mean, I get,
I think another thing because I did watch, I had it in the background, so I didn't get to watch it super very well, but I did think he looked uncomfortable with like the added weight. Like he seemed a little uncomfortable in his body.
Yeah.
So and then we already mentioned like this weight's probably not ideal for him. It's not a weight he fights at typically. So,
I mean, in his prime, he was 160. I want to say so. Yeah. So I mean,
he looked awkward with the weight. He didn't seem like comfortable. He didn't know what he could like do with this. And then once he did kind of let go, it's kind of like, dude, you could have made it dicey. You could have made it choppy.
You know what? In round 9, you did kind of make it dicey. I mean, he went out there, he outlanded him. He kind of landed some big shots, and it's one of those things where it's another man. If he would have gotten going earlier, but granted, this is a guy who's been in rehab off and on for years. This is a guy that doesn't fight at 200 pounds. He fights at 160 historically. He's a guy that's been washed. He hasn't been good for the last 10 years. He was washed by the time 2013. So, I mean,
But the story is not Jake Paul winning here, Josh. The story is
now ranked 14 by the WBA, which means he can fight Zurdo Ramirez for his title.
The Dylan Riley isn't even ranked in WBA.
If they let Jake Paul fight Zurdo Ramirez for WBA gold,
it would be the best fight that I'll ever watch because I get to see one of the best highlights ever in this sport.
He might kill him. And for that reason, I think we should book it next, book it twice, book a trilogy even. We need to really find out.
Have a rematch clause if Zurdo Ramirez wins.
Dual-sided rematch clause. Zurdo can activate even if he wins.
Dude, that would be demonic if someone did that.
What if we just get him? What if we just keep on getting contracts for Jake Paul to where it's like, hey, if you win or lose, every contract with Zurdo.
Could you imagine the third dimension where Jake somehow wins?
No. No, I can't. I actually can't.
That's why I said
that's like cats and dogs are living in harmony. Oh, what? Oh my God, no! But like it's like, dude, if that shit happens, like I'm going and just putting everything on black. There's something wrong with this society.
You need to rebalance the universe.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like it's just. I just don't see it happening.
I'm still yet to pick against him, because I think he's been able to beat every single opponent. I still haven't seen him come across an opponent I didn't think he could be.
Yeah, and it's because he books his fights very, very well. People saying like he rigs the fights. No, the fight's rigged because he books himself against guys who he knows he's better than against. You know what I mean? Like this is he's been running the Floyd Mayweather like late career playbook his entire career.
I will say though, he did go on Jackson and he did say like people are hating on me, but he's like, I am trying to get the bigger fights. I am trying to get these other fights. No. Which I can't disagree with him there.
He's at a weird spot to where he's not good enough to get. And I'll also say this. I feel like he's really stagnated ever since the Anderson Silva fight. That Anderson Silva fight was the last time I saw him where I'm like, okay, he's making improvements.
He's still getting looks, though. Getting looks, though. Yeah. They haven't gone away yet fully. We thought they were after it hasn't. Yeah. I tell you, a lot of people still watch. But I think it was for Chop. It was more because of Chop, not so much of Jake. Also, I mean, it didn't help that it was Jake either. I guess it did help that it was Jake. I mean,
yeah.
But this did get some eyes.
Yeah.
Like the Jake Paul saga is far from over. Like
it is.
We still got a lot more to go.
I expect him to get at least. He's probably going to fight Tank Davis at some point. That's him. One seems to be.
That's some Looney Tunes shit, isn't it?
It's so fitting, though, for his career, dude.
Dude, it was.
They either need to be.
It was the crazy thing. It was gonna happen.
It was.
It was supposed to happen.
Well, Tank Davis was supposedly fighting next month. If he wins that one, they'll probably book it. So.
Like I said, dude, I think with the Jake thing, this guy was always going to build him, and I've been saying it for years. I mean, years. We're going back to 2019, guys, 2020. Like, and even once he kept going, I kept reiterating it on this show. Jake's ultimate goal is to get one massive fight. Whatever happens, and he's out. Because he's not gonna stick around if he fights a Alberto Ramirez, a B-Ball.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna get fucked up and then
a Badu Jack, a Canelo. Like once he gets actually hurt, he's not gonna continue this sport.
Well, I mean, yeah, and you could kind of see it. And even now, whenever he gets hit, like you can kind of tell, like he's like still not used to the fire coming back at him. You know what I mean? Like even 13 fights deep. You know what I mean? Chavez with that late kind of run he was kind of on, rounds 8, 9, 10. He's beating his ass, man. Like that. If you're Jake Paul, there's no way you can go through that and think I can beat Zurdo Ramirez, right? Like you have to know you're gonna lose, right? Like self-belief's a huge thing, but like, dude I even felt like Zurdo Ramirez in the co-main event was kind of sandbagging a little bit to try and get that fight. Like he wasn't going for it in the way he normally does.
He had a lackluster performance from what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that whole fight. It looked like he was. Well, it looked like he really wasn't going for it.
Also, that motherfucker's like 44. What is it? 44, 45 and 1.
Oh my god, yeah, he's really good.
He has one loss, and he didn't even get finished in that one. Like he went the distance. Yeah, he lost decisively, but
he lost it, and it's to Bivol, dude. Like, there's no shame in losing to fucking Bivol. Like, Oh my god. So yeah, book Paul versus Zurdo. That's all I gotta say. And then
Josh like get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way, and then have Zurdo fight Jai Pataya, and then we're back, baby.
Yeah.
We're back. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Dude, I think that like the wildest shit is if somehow this guy does beat like one good elite level guy.
Well, I mean, hey man, we all have dreams.
Because look, if it were in a realistic scenario, his next fight would be like Vidal Riley.
Yeah. Which
or one of those cruiserweight guys, one of those
like
guys
a guy who's an actual boxer.
His record is on now, like numerically.
Yes,
let me clarify. Numerically, his record now looks like those guys' now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to clarify, I don't want anybody getting triggered out there.
No, I get it. Yeah, man. I don't have anything else to say about this. It happened. It was a fucking bad fight.
Dude, it's fucking funny though. They were here.
It's funny. It is.
What's Jake's record now? 10-1?
13-1, I think.
13-1. Holy fuck.
So yeah,
he called out Tommy. I mean, I'm surprised Tommy hasn't taken that.
If I'm Tommy Fury, I probably wouldn't, because like at this point.
But at the same time, what are you doing as Tommy though, dude? Like Tommy had
but then you can hold the win over him forever. It's like, I fuck that guy, you know?
He can.
Because Jake Paul talked so much shit, I wouldn't even give him the opportunity.
He can, but like the thing is though, like one guy's.
I also think he'd beat him again easily, so I don't know why you would. You know,
I don't know. I mean, dude. I mean, it's not like like I said last time. It's not like it was.
No, it wasn't.
I think Jake could beat him. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why that fight's so interesting. Like
you think Jake beat him?
I think Jake can beat him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he knocked him down.
Yeah.
Dude, he got knocked down by Jake Paul. Like that's what you have to live with. Like that's not a good feeling if you're. I hate to say it. Fucking JCC was good enough not to get knocked down, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. Like I get like every time you kind of like semi defend Tommy, I'm like, dude.
Oh, I'm not defending Tommy, but he won 6 rounds to 2. I thought that fight wasn't very close at all. I thought Jake had like a good first round, and he knocked him down in the last round. And that was it. And even in that last round, after Tommy,
better. Like, I mean, it's not like super. It's not massive.
But has he though? Because he's dude.
They're not massive strides.
So much you can tell.
They're not massive strides though. I don't think. I'm not saying. When I'm saying getting better, I'm not talking about fucking Pantoja. Like fighting completely differently at this latter half stage of his career, where he's like, I'm not going to get into these wars. But I do think Jake's getting slightly better. It's just that it's not good enough with the time, like how the timeline he wants to hit and the things he wants to do. He's not gonna be as good as he wants by the time he gets those big fights.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, I think if he fights Tommy again, I think he loses. I think anytime he's gonna step up and fight one of these guys, eventually he's gonna get fucked up. He's gonna get real hurt if he fights Zurdo.
That's what I'm saying. Like once he fights a guy over the line, I'm gonna finally pick against him. He hasn't fought anyone over the line. I still don't even think Tommy's over the line. That's why I said I think if they fought, I still think
he's definitely beatable. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I got nothing else to say about this. This fight, the Chavez fight, kind of blew. So let's move on, because actually we'll stay in the box.
That's another thing. Jake needs one back, dude, where the fight's good, because the last few have been.
It's been. He needs
to get the people back on his side.
I barely saw anybody talk about the Chavez fight, and I feel like it's because after the Tyson thing, people are like, okay, I'm done with this. Like I've seen what this is.
He needs to get one back for the people, and I don't know how he's gonna do it, but he needs to fight someone higher on his level. It has to be fun and competitive, and he needs to come out and show some shit.
Yeah, I agree. Nonetheless, man, shout out Deontay Wilder.
Because the Anderson was fun. The Anderson one was fun.
Oh, well, yeah, that was like the last time I really cared. That actually, I think he fought Tommy Fury after Anderson. Okay, so yeah, it was Tommy Fury. That was the last time I really cared. Everybody else, I know you're going to beat Nate Diaz. I know you're going to beat Ryan Borland, who retired due to like concussion issues. You know what I mean? Like, I know, you beat a pro boxer, you know? Like, yeah, it's like Mike Perry on 2 weeks' notice.
I mean, but I think as far as entertainment value, though, the last good one was Anderson.
Exactly.
Like, it was actually entertaining. There was drama in it. It was fun. It was wild. The crowd was crazy.
Yeah, it was back and forth.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily think he needs like a back, but he needs to get like some interesting opponent or someone who can like return some fire and have a good matchup in there.
Yeah.
He needs to get the public again on his side.
Yeah, because everybody saw through this fight. Everybody saw through. Not everybody saw through the Tyson shit. We saw through the Tyson
not everybody
shit.
saw through the JCC fight. I'm telling you, I've talked to some people who are just normies like this.
There were some people.
I heard them. I was talking to some people, like just some random people that I interact for other stuff, and they were like, "Oh, did you watch the fights this weekend?" I was like, "Oh, what'd you watch?" I was like, "Oh, talk about Ilia." No, he's like, "No, I watched Jake Paul versus." I was like, "Oh, so you wasted your time."
Yeah. Hey, you wasted your time. Same thing for everybody. I mean, I told people at my job, let's talk about the Tyson shit, and they were boxing fans. Like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry for that one. I'm like, no, you shouldn't be. Because Mike Tyson's a 58-year-old man.
No, but Josh.
Bro, you just don't realize it, man. Like, it's Mike Tyson, dude. Like, you don't know how good Mike... Yeah, whatever. How about Deontay Wilder, Angel? How about him? Defeating...
All you need to know is that Deontay Wilder fought in Wichita, Kansas. And And with just that information, I think you know how, like.
Yeah, this was not a big fight. This was a tune-up. He needed this one. Ends up knocking out, standing TKO over Tyrell Herndon, who I believe had a record of 26-5 heading into this one. Had been stopped by basically every major guy he had faced. He did not look great in there. He looked, and granted, he had surgeries recently. There's been a lot. He's older now. He's had losses. I would just say, I wouldn't hate to see him take another tune-up and then maybe cash out with one more fight, but I do think it's about time to start winding down the career of the Bonds Bomber. That's what I'm going to say. Any thoughts from you? I know that you've been a Bomb Squad member for a long time, so.
I mean, dude, I think he should have retired probably a little while ago. I know he went to stick that, or should have taken some more tune-ups a while back now. Just try to rebuild.
Yeah. Definitely not the Zhang fight. The Zhang fight was a bad one.
I don't know what to do at this point. I mean, he's done it, like I said with Oliveira, he's done his part for the sport. He's been serviceable. He gave entertaining bouts. What else do I want at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, if he's going to do more fights like this, so be it. I think that's fine. You know?
I wouldn't hate it.
Maybe one more elite guy. But I genuinely don't know what the right decision is. Like, especially for a fighter, unless like it's getting so like it's like knockout after knockout after knockout, it's kind of like, well, buddy, maybe we should end it here.
Yeah, I think he's at a weird place.
Also, that guy's made a fuck ton of money, man. Like, he doesn't need to keep going either.
Yeah.
And he's old now.
Yeah, he is.
He's an old heavyweight by now standards. Like, he's old with a fuck ton of fight miles.
Yeah. So I think this really should shut down any sort of talk of him. Like I said, like I don't even know if I'd put him against an AJ for a cash out fight. Like I don't even know if I'd feel good about doing that. So
I mean, because AJ still had that.
AJ still is good.
Still had that one highlight. Obviously, fell short against Dubois. But
people are writing off AJ after that one. He got caught early. Maybe I'm not gonna.
I feel like AJ is one of those guys. Like he can get the big ones and he can get them back too. Though, like he might lose, but he can always come back.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Nonetheless, shout out Bronze Bomber. Shout out Deontay Wilder.
Because I think if you run it back, maybe he can beat Dubois.
He might be able to.
Yeah.
Kind of sitting on the shelf right now. Very interested to see what he does. But nonetheless, man, this one made some headlines. Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis at a Tough Enough event. They have a teammate. I don't remember what teammate it was, fighting Luis Hernandez. Luis Hernandez, a cop in his daytime, a undefeated 6-0 prospect in his spare time, ends up winning by submission. And Sean Strickland, who apparently was talking some shit from the corner, Luis Hernandez does the old DX crotch shot.
Fuck yeah.
And he went, fuck yeah. And then he turned around, by the way, and tried to dap up the guy, like, hey, man, nothing against you. And then as he's doing that, Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis charge the cage.
Angry mother storms into the cage.
And Sean Strickland with a fucking why I order type walk, like it's the 1960s, ends up punching Luis Hernandez 3 or 4 times. Sean Strickland type shit, man. I gotta be honest with you. I don't think anything is going to come from this. I don't think anything's going to come from this at all. I think we're past the point of any repercussions for UFC fighters.
I mean, unless the Nevada State Athletic Commission comes in and gives them a sanction.
I don't think they'll do that either.
I mean, they could. I mean, if they did it, I know UFC doesn't play around with that shit.
Yeah, they don't.
They wouldn't let Sean fight. Like, they wouldn't take him to fucking Australia or some other place to fight. Like, they would honor it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll even do that though. I don't think they're gonna do anything. I think they're
probably not.
Just gonna let him.
But I think if I was the Nevada State Athletic Commission, I would.
Oh, I would too. I mean, he went in there and assaulted that guy.
You can't tolerate that behavior, especially dude. It's the fight game, and there's already a bad view, even like, and still in the general public eye to an extent about combat sports.
Well, and how about the fact that it's Sean Strickland, the guy that talks shit to everybody, and is talking and it's like, oh, you can't take somebody throwing it back.
But if it was the other way around and Sean got attacked, people would be like, oh my god, guys, Sean got assaulted.
Oh my god, I know, dude. It's crazy what that guy can get away with. It's insane. And by the way, I'm also not gonna let Chris Curtis off either.
He didn't do anything, but he did get in his face and
Chris Curtis, you should know better too. You should know better.
He should have been stopping Sean.
Yeah, dude.
Like, by the way, are they cool again?
I was about to say that.
Yeah, are they cool again?
I'm happy they made up. I'm happy they kissed and made up. They're let's bring the podcast back. But yeah, like come on. You can't be like, how dare you talk shit to me with my friend Sean Strickland right here. Like, what do you mean, dude? That's the guy who talks shit to everybody. Like,
and I get standing up for your teammate and feeling for him, dude. But at the same time,
he wasn't doing it to the teammate. He was doing it to you because you guys are talking shit. Like,
I think if I remember right, he did like say something, but like I said, the extra, he did say like "suck my dick" or something. Yeah. But dude, that's the extent of it. Like, he didn't talk about your mom or your kids or your wife or your children.
That's what Sean Strickland. Dude, Sean Strickland was like on Twitter, like brought up Terrence McKinney earlier, like 3 weeks ago, like talking about Terrence McKinney was a fucking, you know what I mean? Like talking shit on addicts to him. It's like just really weird shit. He gets oddly personal. But if you tell that guy to even suck your dick, he's going to assault you in the cage. It's crazy what he gets away with. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I mean,
it would be
like
it would be really funny though if the Nevada State Commission did come out.
They should suspend him for like a year. They should. They're not going to.
You think a year? Nah, I mean, I don't think it should be that long. 6
No,
months.
come on, dude. You can't go into you can't just jump the cage and punch a motherfucker. You can't do that.
I mean, dude, if that happened in the UFC,
it's just
there's a low.
It's true though, but they arrested the guys who did the Connor. Connor didn't press charges, and neither did Luis Hernandez. Shout out to him. But I mean, come on, dude, you can't do that shit. That's embarrassing to the sport. You know what I mean? It's not even like a mutual combat situation.
Sometimes these things happen in MMA, Josh.
Well, that was bad too. That one, I'm surprised Diaz. That's another thing though. Like the Diaz brothers, they let them off the hook for that too. You know what I mean? Like there's certain guys who just get away with shit. It's crazy.
I've learned in MMA sometimes when there needs to be repercussions, there is no repercussions.
There's never any repercussions. Luke Thomas has said this, and I agree with him. If you've burned your bridges everywhere else, you'll always have a home in MMA. There is no
shit.
Like if
we had do anything. What was the football player?
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Fedor's brother.
He
got to fight after that.
John Jones, for the love of God, man.
Hermes Franco. Fuck that guy.
We're still talking about a Conor McGregor comeback sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, there's no standards. So, anyways, man, what a great way to end. Anything else you want to go ahead and talk about, man?
No, I mean, that about covers it. Luckily, when we come back next week, I believe that's Derek Lewis Teixeira.
Yeah. Thank God for that, right?
It's not a bad card, though. It's very well constructed. I talked about this several weeks back on the show.
Yeah.
So we'll be blessed. And then what's the next paper? Is the next paper after that Drika Chimaev?
Yeah.
Dude, that doesn't even feel real.
No, it does not. That's
we're fucking blessed, boys.
That one gets me fired up, and can't wait for that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this pod, man. A fun show, I thought. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm at Josh Soundoff on Twitter. He's at Angel Ortega _01 at Courtside Sound for all things related to the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.